Welcome back. Now, a recent study conducted by the Democratic Governance and Rights Unit of the University of Cape Town has revealed some of the challenges that are faced by magistrates in South Africa. Now, the first part of the report, titled Under Pressure, surveyed 230 magistrates across South Africa, examining factors such as caseloads, court infrastructure, stress levels, safety and security, perceptions of corruption, and the impact of COVID-19. Now, the second report focused on court users' experiences as well as perceptions. The findings show that safety and security are primary concerns, with magistrates reporting threats, physical harm, as well as incidents of sexual harassment. Mbekezeli Benjamin is a research and advocacy officer of the Judges Matter campaign at the Democratic Governance and Rights Unit of the University of Cape Town and joins us to further unpack this story. Mbekezeli, once again, welcome. Look, thank you so much for joining us. So you and I had a very similar discussion not so long ago, and you took us through the findings of the report titled Under Pressure. Talk to us about the second report that is titled Isidima and what new information has been uncovered in the matter of court users.
Thank you so much, Alicia, and thank you to the viewers at home. Well, the second report, Isidima, looks at the perceptions of court users. So people who on a day-to-day basis go to the court either as litigants or as witnesses or any other court users. And what the Isidima report looked at was magistrates court in the district courts across urban and rural districts in 2 provinces. And we surveyed more than 1,000 court users to get their perceptions of the court system. And one of the things that came out of the report was that 90% of the respondents said that they were treated with dignity. And which is why we titled the report Isidima, which means dignity in isiXhosa. And that for us was a positive finding. It means that a lot of people, when they go to the court, they get a positive experience. However, the more times that a person returns to court, that's when the positive experience starts to be negative, because people are frustrated by the delays and having to come back and spend money that they often don't have to attend court cases. So the recommendation that comes out of there is that there should be less and less delays, and magistrates court should work harder to make sure that they eliminate any cause of delay, such as missing dockets.
Mbekezeli, look, why are you leaving this out, that corruption and bribery in the courts was part of this report? And talk to us about how rampant this practice is and why are those responsible then not reported and disciplined accordingly? I mean, in the previous report, it stated that the stressful working conditions and that were experienced by magistrates actually reached the Magistrates Commission. So where can those who are forced to bribe authorities report this behavior with their safety guaranteed, of course?
Yes, so corruption and bribery was one of the factors that we did look at in this report, and like you said, in the previous report, the Magistrates Perception Survey, which we titled Under Pressure, we found that there were incidents of bribery or bribes being offered in the Magistrates Court. Initially, like I said, it was a struggle to find who exactly was the one who was receiving bribes, because from magistrates, they say that they've witnessed people exchanging bribes, but they couldn't pick up who it was. In this second report, we found actually that about 19% of the respondents said that the bribes came from legal practitioners in the courts, which was a concern. And a lot of the times, the bribes are offered in order to either influence the process of the court case or the outcomes of the court case, which is again a concern because it means that people are trying to use money to influence the justice system. Like we said before, we went to the Magistrates Commission to look at their records and see the kinds of cases that have dealt with corruption-related issues. And unfortunately, there were very few. But I can tell you, in the last 2 to 3 weeks, there are currently 2 magistrates, very senior magistrates, who are standing trial or in disciplinary proceedings due to corruption. One of them is state capture related corruption, and the other magistrate was offering acting posts in exchange for bribes. So there seems to be some action that is being taken, and which is why there is this perception of corruption. And I must emphasize that it's a perception of corruption. We haven't yet gotten positive reports from the people we surveyed that they actually were involved in corruption. It's only perceptions. But of course, the perceptions tell a bigger story, and which is why we should be concerned.
Absolutely, Mbekezeli. And then what is the responsibility as well as rights of court users, be it witnesses, those that are accused and those that are awaiting trial or detention in this regard? We understand that one witness was actually shot right outside a court after having gone to submit evidence.
Yes, so unfortunately, there have been incidents of witnesses being shot at or being harmed when they were attending court. There was one incident that happened in Randburg, in Johannesburg. There's another incident that happened in Wynberg, in Cape Town. And those 2 incidents yes, they're only 2, but they tell a bigger story about the issue of safety and security in and around courts. Because in the report that we did, we found that people don't necessarily feel safe at the courts. There were instances of even sexual harassment at the courts, and even magistrates told us that, especially female magistrates, 16% of the respondents said that they were either sexually harassed or they observed someone who was sexually harassed. And the unfortunate part is that one of the perpetrators was a magistrate themselves. And so that, again, tells a sad story about the state of the court. And again, I must emphasize that it was only a minority. The greater majority said they had either never been sexually harassed or they haven't seen anyone. But the 16% is concerning, and it should be eliminated in our courts.
Absolutely. Mbekezeli, we look forward to your following report after this one. Thank you so much for that. That is Mbekezeli Benjamin, their Research and Advocacy Officer at Judges Match.